23 Most Beautiful Gardens in the World. Number 1. Claude Monet's Garden. Just a quick train ride away from Paris, you'll find some of the possibly most famous gardens in the world. These are the romantic gardens that feature in the glorious paintings of Claude Monet. And like his paintings, Claude Monet's gardens at his home in Giverny, France. They flow like brush strokes in a profusion of textures and color. Number 2. Gardens of Versailles. These formal gardens in France boast some 600 fountains, 370 plus statues, 55 water features, 21 miles of canals and hundreds of acres of flower beds. Number 3. Keukenhuf. Perhaps the world's largest flower garden, Keukenhuf is located in Lees, Holland. It's celebrated for its hyacinths, tulips, crocuses, daffodils and other spring flowers. More than 7 million flower bulbs are planted every year. Number 4. Generalife Garden. This Moorish fortress complex was the summer palace of the Nasrid dynasty. The Nasrid sultans ruled Granada for more than 200 years from 1230 to 1492. Well, here at the Alhambra, you'll find one of the world's best gardens, the Generalife. Number 5. Villa d'Este Gardens, Tivoli Gardens. Villa d'Este is a sumptuous 16th-century mansion in Tivoli, about an hour outside of Rome. It's home to a breathtaking Italian Renaissance garden. Sculptures of frolicking nymphs, along with more than 500 fountains, catch the eye. Number 6. Villa d'Este Gardens, Tivoli Gardens. The Villa Ephrussi de Rothschild is a palace set amidst 9 enchanting themed gardens. Once the home of Baroness Beatrice de Rothschild, the Pink Palace was built in Italian Renaissance style. As for the gardens, you'll find possibly the most beautiful rose garden in the world. It features more than 100 varieties of roses, with fragrant blooms in every color imaginable. Number 7. Kew Royal Botanic Gardens. Kew Gardens in southwest London are the most famous English gardens, and definitely one of the most beautiful botanical gardens on earth. This is the world's largest collection of living plants. Spend the day exploring the enormous Victorian glasshouses and wandering the miles of paths leading to rose gardens. You'll also find Palm House, where many rare palms and other tropical plants are grown. Number 8. Alnwick Garden. Once part of the estate of Alnwick Castle, these spectacular gardens date back to 1750. They're located in Northumberland, England. The Alnwick Garden plays host to the small but deadly poison garden filled exclusively with around 100 toxic, intoxicating, and narcotic plants. The boundaries of the poison garden are kept behind black iron gates, only open on guided tours. Delight in water sculptures that bring science to life, quirky antique furniture in the country garden, one of the world's largest treehouses, the lunch restaurant, and the cherry orchid. Number 9. Butchart Gardens. On Vancouver Island in Western Canada, Victoria is dubbed the City of Gardens. Victoria's most famous gardens are the Butchart Gardens. They were created by Jenny Butchart, the wife of a wealthy miner, who wanted to beautify a limestone quarry. And so, in 1912, she started turning the abandoned pit into a garden. Today, the family-run gardens include a rose garden with 2,500 rose bushes, Italian garden with a flower-studded pond, sunken garden and Japanese garden with bamboo and fiery Japanese maples. Number 10. VanDusen Botanical Garden. In the heart of Vancouver, Canada, this 55-acre botanical oasis boasts over 7,500 plant varieties from around the world. Discover an Elizabethan hedge maze, rose garden, rock garden and other wonderful themed gardens. Artfully arranged pathways take you on a delightful journey through each garden. Number 11. Allerton and McBryde Gardens. The Allerton and McBryde Gardens are two side-by-side gardens on the lush Garden Isle of Kauai, Hawaii. The Allerton Garden, in particular, enchanted us with its whimsical garden, rooms, and fascinating history. Number 12. Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden. South Florida is also home to one of the best gardens in the U.S. The 83-acre Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden was named after plant explorer and botanist David Fairchild. It's found 7 miles from Miami. It showcases a palm tree collection, a tropical fruit collection and rare tropical plants around the world, like the Pride of Burma, with its orchid-like pink flowers. Its butterfly conservatory, with thousands of exotic fluttering butterflies from Central and South America, is especially magical to visit. Number 13. Atlanta Botanical Garden. Do you have a crush on orchids? Well, the Orchid Conservatory at the Atlanta Botanical Garden will set your heart aflutter. These gardens, in the center of Atlanta, Georgia, are home to one of the world's largest collections of orchids. Shady woodlands, rose gardens, winding trails, sculptures and a 600-foot-long canopy walk also add to the garden's appeal. Number 14. Desert Botanical Garden. If you're in Phoenix, Arizona, check out this 14-acre Desert Botanical Garden. It features over 50,000 plants, including many rare and endangered species. The impressive collection includes cacti, succulents, wildflowers and other desert plants from around the world. Number 15. Le Jardin Majorelle. It took French painter Jacques Majorelle 40 years to create these beautiful walled gardens surrounding his villa and Cubist art studio in Marrakech, Morocco. He created a labyrinth of alleyways that crisscross and planted exotic varieties of plants from around the world. He also patented the deep cobalt blue color used on the buildings throughout the garden, called Majorelle Blue. It comprises the gardens, complete with burbling fountains, towering palms, crimson bougainvillea and interesting cacti. Number 16. Kirstenbosch National Botanical Garden. Regarded as one of the best botanical gardens in the world, Kirstenbosch spreads out over 1,300 plus acres at the base of Table Mountain in Cape Town, South Africa. You'll find landscaped gardens, along with hiking trails up Table Mountain. Number 17. Kenrokuen. Situated in Kanazawa, Japan. The spacious Kenrokuen Gardens were once the outer part of Kanazawa Castle. The name, Kenrokuen, means the garden containing the 6 elements of a beautiful garden. Spaciousness, tranquility, artificial construction, antique elegance, water features and a magnificent view. Number 18. Singapore Botanic Gardens. Take a walk on the wild side. The Singapore Botanic Gardens are a tropical Eden. Spreading out over 200 plus acres, these world-famous gardens are made for walking or jogging. There's the tropical rainforest, and a ginger garden, and a children's garden, and we were wowed by the orchid garden with its incredible collection of beautiful orchids in a rainbow of colors. Number 19. Nong Nooch Tropical Garden. A blend of Thai landscaping and European-style gardens, these beautiful 500-acre gardens are found in Pattaya, Thailand. They're more than just a place to visit. They're like a theme park, encompassing restaurants, hotels and cultural shows. See everything from cacti, bonsai, orchid nurseries and a French garden modeled after Versailles. The Nong Nooch Tropical Botanical Garden is huge, so you might want to rent a bicycle to pedal around. Number 20. Vallarta Botanical Gardens. Just 11 miles south of Puerto Vallarta, the Vallarta Botanical Gardens feature more than 3,000 different species of plants. Registered with Botanic Gardens Conservation International in England, these beautiful natural gardens include roses and orchids, a field of 6,000 blue agaves and a carnivorous plant collection. You'll also find a vast area of tropical forest, woven through with short hiking trails to a river where you can swim. Walking past tangled vanilla vines, we were amazed by the symphony of birdsong and cicadas and the variety of butterflies flitting about. Number 21. Floating Gardens of Xochimilco. Truly a beautiful place, the floating gardens of Xochimilco are reminiscent of the canals of Venice. Xochimilco means, place of the flowers, in Nahuatl. They created large rafts, which they anchored to the bottom of the lake, then piled weeds and soil on top to form raised garden beds. Today, Xochimilco is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the Chinampas are used for growing flowers. Number 22. Brisbane Botanic Gardens. For a breath of green life on the edge of Brisbane, step out into these lush subtropical botanic gardens, previously known as Mount Coot Botanic Gardens. Spreading out over 138 acres, they feature a standout Japanese garden, waterfalls, fern house, arid garden with aloes and succulents, bamboo grove and the largest collection of Australian native rainforest trees in the world. Don't miss the new Spotted Gum Trail, a 1.5-mile scenic hike one way through eucalyptus forests and across bridges spanning deep ravines. Number 23. Royal Botanic Gardens Victoria. These gardens in Melbourne are home to 2 sets of gardens, Melbourne Gardens and Cranbourne Gardens. Dating back to 1846, the inner-city Melbourne Gardens span 94 acres of garden beds, sweeping lawns and lakes blanketed by water lilies. Among the 8,500 plant species from around the world, camellias, stunning roses and succulents. Gardens are a fantastic way to connect with nature, and they provide a peaceful escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. We'd love to hear about your experiences visiting amazing gardens around the world while traveling. Have we missed any of your favorite gardens? Please let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.